Oh, not again! Oh man, my lip reading is not very good, says Paul. So, do you know what? I will start again. I should have. I've been doing too much preparation on the show and not enough taking care of business on the audio. I think that should be fine now. Please repeat. Aha. Yes. We've not actually met, Jackie, but I feel like I know you so well, and people. Well, nobody's perfect. Well, the thing about it, Joel, is that it was perfect. That's the beauty of it. Should we play the theme tune again and start the show again? Because it always occurs to me that my best material is when I'm muted like that. Oh dear. Okay, I am going to start again. I'm going to take that off the screen for now. I'm saying good morning to you. I was singing along as well. I was talking about singing along over the theme tune, and you wouldn't have been able to hear that. Because I was muted. So I deprived you of that joy of hearing me sing along over the theme tune. And I was saying as well, we have been gifted a theme tune for the reunification move to Portugal. You know, on Monday when I was talking to Gilda and she said, people should do the reunification. I was thinking, okay, that sounds like the mashed potato or the funky chicken. Do the reunification. And somebody's gone ahead and written us a tune. With lyrics called the reunification. So what I'm waiting for is the permission. If you're watching and you wrote that for us, thank you so much. Just need the permission to play that and to make sure I'm not going to get any copyright trouble with YouTube if I do play it and that it's original music. So thank you very much for doing that. I think let's just take a breath, shall we? Have a sip of coffee. Oh, the show has now started in earnest. Ask anything about Portugal, moving to Portugal, and of course, I think you were all checking, weren't you, to see if you had your volume turned up. And I was saying also, whilst I was muted, every day is about moving to Portugal here on the Good Morning Portugal show. And meanwhile, Carl Munson from expatsportugal.com. How are you, I wonder? Should we go to the comments and find out? What I want to do today is talk about our Expats Portugal plan, also known as Premium Plus within the forum environment, because admissions close for that tomorrow. 30 days in September, right? and so it'll finish tomorrow, whereupon you won't get the €100 discount, the early bird discount, which is, a pretty good discount, isn't it? Let's face it. And I will go through this with you, so you know exactly what you're dealing with should you need it, and of course to address some of the feedback we've had about it. Not the feedback from the 30 or so people who've already done the plan in the last 3 months, and that's why I'm hoarse talking so much to people about moving to Portugal. The feedback has been very good on the plan itself, but when we did an email blast the other day to tell people about the course, we did have a bit of, is it called blowback? Some digital raised eyebrows, let me call it that. And so a few things I need to put straight about the Expats Portugal plan as well. So we'll talk about that later. But I also want to share with you an absolutely wonderful day out I had yesterday in Alcobaça. I've been there before, but went there again yesterday. And I think it's probably been 2 or 3 years since I've been in Alcobaça, and went there again yesterday. And I'm going to share it with you because to me, it sums up all that is great and why you might want to move to Portugal. Okay, so just loading the pictures onto the picture deck as I speak, and I'll talk you through my little day out. The journey there, which was absolutely stunning, along the Atlantic coast, along the Ridge Road, which I can tell you all about between you and me. We don't want to make it too much of an unkept secret. We want to keep that to ourselves, ideally. But just take a very quick look at this. We will return to Alcobaça. We'll look at that, the monastery there. It has so much about it that is so good about Portugal and why you might want to move here. So that's why I want to talk about it. And that is an unfiltered. I mean, it's filtered by my camera, but there is no additional treatment to that sky. That is as I took the shot yesterday on my mobile phone. Isn't that amazing? I know it's a little bit a fisheye, isn't it? How the perspective's been distorted there, but I wanted to get a lot of the building in. So there it is, and we will return to it later to tell you all about Alcobaça as the epitome and the great exemplar of all that's good and great about Portugal. So before I do that, I'm going to say hello to a few people in the comments, right? As is only right, correct, and polite. Andrea's here, getting ready to move to Portugal. Hola, bon dia, everyone. Good morning. Hello, Andrea. How are you today? How excited are you right now, I wonder? Bon dia, alegria, amigos, from Thunder Duck, who looks like a bit of cosplay going on there in Tamar. That helmet wouldn't be out of place in Tamar or Alcobaça for that matter, Thunder. Hola, bon dia, todos. Bon dia, Andrea Hogan and Thunder Duck. These folks are in early. They are in before the show starts, as is Jeff Jackson. Hey up, Jeff. Bon dia, alegria, todos. Ask anything. Qual é a velocidade média de voo e uma andorinha sem carga? Well, you can ask anything. It does help if it's in English. For me anyway, but I think Joao might help me with that. Let me put the old ticker tape beneath me so that people do know what's going on here. I know you seasoned regulars, professionals really, professional viewers of the Good Morning Portugal know exactly what happens on a Wednesday. But for those joining us, and they are in increasing numbers, aren't they? Let's face it, it is Ask Anything About Portugal Wednesday, and Ask Anything also about the Expats Portugal plan. Francis is here as well. Bon dia, alegria. Porto game behind me, still a little teary-eyed. Hope you're all well. It's a new day, so you can tell. That's his team, and I think there's more football talk to come. And all you lovely folks saying hello to each other. And I do have to edit the comment, not edit, but sort of overlook some of the comments where you're just saying hi to each other, because we never get through them otherwise, do we? I'm going to have to go into on a comment management course or something like that when we start at 8 o'clock. That might help, mightn't it? Question: in public schools, are uniforms a thing? No, they're not, are they, here in Portugal? They might be in some parts of the country, but I've not seen that. I never see it in the stuff I watch in LTP. When I look at international school websites, they seem to be uniform schools. I think your assessment is absolutely right there, Francis, that the international schools who I suppose are putting over a particular kind of message, aren't they, with high academic standards and a particular kind of ethic that goes with international schools. I think, yes, they do want you to wear a uniform there, and they want the corporate look, I suppose, corporate educational look. But in the public schools, which is can be confusing because public schools, of course, are a different thing in the UK. But the government schools, if you like, government provided schools of Portugal, As far as I'm aware, I've not seen anyone in uniform for those. Okay, I'm always willing to be challenged in the comments by anyone who knows better than me, and that's often most other people. Bon dia all. What is rugby union like in Portugal? It's big and popular. If my distinction is correct. Now, Paul, as a Yorkshireman, might know the answer to that. I think rugby is popular in Portugal, and it is union that they play here. And English, I know British, UK teams do come and tour in Portugal, and what fun they must have here with the beer prices here in Portugal. So I believe it's union, and it is popular. Young Ben, Ben Austin, who offered to and did actually teach quite a few people Portuguese. Some of you still might be having online sessions with Ben Austin. It was great to see him recently. Hello, Ben, if you're tuned in this morning. He was a rugby player. He was educated here in Portugal and a rugby player too, so he would know all about that. What is Jimmy Choo doing? Hey, back it in. Got the studio door open. Lovely blue sky outside and fresh Silver Coast air coming into the studio. Absolutely fantastic. But wondering what Jimmy Choo's doing. He's got a face on him looking like he's found a reptile or something in the garden. Who's we? I didn't lose anything. Says, well, that's the old football thing, isn't it? People disown their team sometimes, don't they, when that happens? Thank you. It happens more often than not to Liverpool, so I kind of expected it. Okay, so an idea of what the result was between Liverpool and Porto. Yes, bragging rights. Football being talked about more so than rugby, I think. Is your game this evening? Francis and Joao continuing their conversation about footy there. Bon dia a todos. Jimmy Choo, what are you doing? Come here, lie down. Sorry to be doing dog training live on air. Come and say hello to everybody, Jimmy Choo. Bon dia, Alegria. Looking forward to listening to today's discussion and all those small nuggets of information. Yes, I'm known for my small nuggets from people's experience that help inform my next adventure in Portugal. Have you been to Alcobaça, Mark? I think you're going to like the pictures. Like Thunder, you liked them, didn't you? Where's that? Because I posted them up quickly last. Me and Mrs. M did a Spiritual Portugal show late last night, and I wanted to talk about spiritual buildings, if you like, in Portugal. So I very hastily posted up a selection of my pictures from Alcobaça yesterday, and they attracted your attention, didn't they, Thunder? Bon dia, Dom Carlos de Niro, Matador de Mosca. Yes, the Matador de Mosca. I guess that's a sport that nobody would have a problem with, although there probably are some people who defend flies' rights as well, yeah? Francis, I think Benfica will beat Barca. They're not the same without Messi, and neither is the Spanish league. Yeah. When is that happening, Francis? Do let us know. Bon dia, meninos y meninas. Good morning, boys and girls from Midlife Crisis World Tour. Good morning to you. So how are you? From your lips to God's ears. Was that because I was muted, or is that a football comment? I wonder there, Midlife Crisis. Paul Richards, greetings from Harrogate. Wow, it's sunny. Wow, well done. 29 days to lift off. Hello, Portugal. Looking forward to tomorrow night's webinar. Yes, incidentally, D7 with Gilda tomorrow night, because there have been, it is changing, isn't it? Ever so slightly as each week goes by. Seems like it's getting a little more stringent. I mean, not too onerous or odorous. The conditions for coming to Portugal. Still a great place to come. And as we discovered on Monday, who was it who said the sixth most powerful passport in the world by some reckonings? And I think, given that, it's still a fairly easy residency to achieve. Although, say that to somebody who's in the middle of it or trying to get an appointment with Seth, as Paul is. But you get my drift. It's a pretty favourable visa, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow night, the D7 with Gilda. And, of course, the Expats Portugal plan. People will have an audience with her thereafter to complete the current cycle of content that we've gone through in the last 3 months. A kind of graduation session, if you like, and an evening with Ms. Pereira. You will see Carl in a new light, or maybe not. Oh, Paul, what have you got planned for me, you rascal? Carl, I can hook you up with some good online time management classes. Is that because I was late, or because I was muted, or what? Tell us more about that. That's very interesting. I like to think that I manage my time fairly well. I never complain about not having enough time. I was having a conversation with someone recently who said they basically needed 48 hours in every day. Well, newsflash, excuse me, we don't and never will have any more than 24 hours in a day or 168 hours in a week. You've got to just use them wisely, right? And effectively. And I think a good time management class would be a good personal management class, wouldn't it? A good energy management class. But do tell us more, midlife crisis. And here we go. Here come all the comments about me talking to myself earlier on. When I say we, I mean with Porto, and I lose with Porto as well. From Francis to Joao there. Can't hear you. Couple of monkeys with their ears covered up. Is that how you see me? The most sense he's made in ages. Yes, very good. Every time I do this, which is probably on a fairly regular basis, there's a certain cycle to this, isn't there, of me doing my best material muted up. It's probably once a month, isn't it? Phil, sorry to cause you concern. Am I getting old and gone deaf? I'm sorry to cause that alarm among anyone this morning. Phil at Mace Games. Phil, what is Mace Games? I wonder. Is that sort of medieval toys? Can you actually buy a mace there? I hope it's not spray mace and games to do with that. I wonder. Let us know more, please, Phil. And sorry to to cause a concern. You're back. What? Behind you. That's Rich coming from you, Panto Dame Richards. Behind you. Yes, please, says Jeff Jackson. I can't remember to what. Was that the tour of Alcabasa? Morning from Dominique Core. Bon dia from an American expat in Provence, France, which we know will change at some time, won't it? Play it. Yep. Was that the song? Is that you, Alex? Did you come up with that? Oh, fantastic. If that is the case, please confirm again, Alex, and we will play that before we're finished today. So thank you so much. It was you, the author and singer of the reunification song. That's really wonderful. Chris on Relish, bon dia, and a nice bit of sunshine on a Portuguese palm tree there. A new listener, viewer, I think, Chris. Tell us more about yourself. Is there a Yorkshire price for... The only Yorkshire price is for note, isn't it, Paul? The only decent Yorkshire price, no, lad. I enjoy whistling the EP theme tune. Is it original or from somewhere? It is Pete from Castanera de Pera, Pete Wilton Davies, who put that together for us. Did pull it from a library. He didn't compose it, but he chose very well to answer your question. 3 for the road, and I'm looking forward to joining you next July for that sort of activity. And if that is about boozing there. 3 for the road. Is that a boozing influencers? And talk about influencers on YouTube. Maybe you are 3 for the road, and you're an under the influencer. See what I did there? Kaya Lily Mlongo, bon dia from South Africa. Hello, my friend. How are you? I think you might be new or an occasional visitor to the show. Tell us more about yourself. Lovely to have you here. Lourdes Albert. Hello, what is your name? I have a group of learning Portuguese in Poland. My name is Carl Munson, Lourdes. Bom dia e muito interessante e sodoreto. Já partilha. Okay, Lourdes, if you're looking for people to join you on your learning Portuguese group in Poland, why not stick that in our forum? The website is mended. We had a bit of trouble, didn't we, yesterday morning? Apologies to anyone who has caused any inconvenience by the website and forum not working. It's all sorted out and all ready to rumble again, and I will be sharing live from the website just to prove that when we talk more about Premium Plus. And Lourdes, thank you very much for your message. It's a hi, Carl, as well from Mohammed. Good morning to you. Mohammed Nazir Sharif Ismail, good morning to you. What is today hump day? Is that why I feel this way? Will Thompson, I think you've had the hump for the last 2 years, haven't you, in one way or another? Interesting little shot there. What's all that about on your profile pic, Will Thompson? It's what I love American phrases. One of my favorites at the moment is doing a solid, as you may well be aware. And thanks to everyone who has done me a solid recently. We have been blessed in so many ways and continue to be so with the friendship and support of this wonderful community here, as I'm sure many of the others here would also say. So yes, thank you to anyone who's done us a solid, which I find just such an amusing phrase, and I love using it. And hump day is another one of those Americanisms, of course, isn't it? Hump day, it's the middle of the week, it's the hump to overcome as we wind our way towards the weekend. Talk about time management, eh? And isn't it interesting? I wonder, among you expats here who don't see this as hump day anymore, who actually don't even know what day it is anymore. Not talking specifically about you, John Rooney, but good morning to you. Bon dia, Alcabasa is lovely. You should have popped in for a cuppa next time, John. I'd love to meet you, really would. But Alcobaça is very special. If you've only just joined, got some pictures to show you, and I want to tell you about my little tour of Alcobaça as an epitome, an exemplar of all that's good and great about Portugal. There's another shot there of the monastery. I have been known to describe it as a cathedral. Forgive me, but I mean it is cathedral-esque, is it not? So, John, yeah, lovely offer. Thank you very much indeed. I would love to do that. Would love to meet you. Let's have a look. Michelle's here as well. Bon dia, Carl. How is your morning in San Martin de Porto? Absolutely beautiful out there. Very autumnal, it has to be said. And I've got a question for you. Living this close to the sea now, do you think I was doing my ablutions this morning? Let me put it that way, and I think the water that comes out of the taps near the seaside has a holiday smell to it. Am I right? The beautiful thing about living here is I have felt like I'm on holiday for the last 4 years. I have to say, we started out here, we're back here again in San Martin de Porto, and would you agree with me? Is this an aha moment for other people that the water that comes out of the taps by the seaside has a particular, not an odor because it's not unpleasant, although odor is subjective, is it not? It's just that we've made it mean something bad. I think, and there will be other grammar and word checks later on. Don't you worry when I talk about the feedback that's been coming in for the Expats Portugal plan. But is there a particular smell of water that comes out of the taps near the seaside? Tell me if that's true or not in your experience. And I got a real blast of being on holiday again. The lovely smells. Tell me. What are the smells for you of being on holiday? For me, it's obviously suntan lotion. Not that I use it myself, but you smell it around and about, don't you, in the restaurants and the cafes and on the seafront. The smell of seawater. Does sand have a smell? It almost does, doesn't it? And of course, in the evening, that smell of freshly washed people who spent the day at the beach and are now getting their glad rags on, and they sprayed a bit of scent or perfume on, or aftershave or cologne or whatever you call it these days, Lynx, and they're going out for the evening. The smell of being on holiday at around 8 or 9 in the evening on a balmy night, just heated up a little bit by the evening, the warm air of the evening. Maybe there's honeysuckle in the air as well. That to me is, and as you can tell, I'm a very olfactory person. Is it? Am I on my own? Am I kind of muted again with this, or do other people agree? Nubianet, good morning. I'm doing a bit of late night cooking instead of last minute packing. It's always the way, isn't it? We all get easily distracted when we're packing. Today is, shall I get rid of this food or shall I cook it up now? Today is the day of my cancelled, postponed flight. Oh dear, Nubiana, what happened? We do sincerely hope you'll be back on track soon. Oh dear, oh dear. But it sounds like things are moving generally in the right direction there. So good morning to you. Hi, his name is Carl Munson. Such a great show. He gets so many comments. It might be a while before answering. Thank you, Fiona. That's really kind of you to come to my aid like that. And yeah, answering the question of, or is this another song? It sounds like a football chant. His name is Carl Munson. He has a great show. He gets so many comments. And the last bit doesn't rhyme yet, but we will work on that. Donna's here. Hello, Donna. Bon dia todos. Just back from the Algarve. My question is, how can the Algarve be so darn fantastic? It surely is. Well, there's a happy customer and somebody who agrees with Paul Richards. Not that many people don't agree with Paul Richards, but, he does bang on a bit about the Algarve. And rightly so, it would appear, according to Donna as well. Bon dia, Carl. Did I hear you say on Monday's show that it's now 24 months proof of income for the D7? Now, Sarah, you would have heard... Gilda and I talking about that, and you can hear her talking about that again on tomorrow night's webinar, which you can book up for if it's not completely sold out already. Let me just give you the right link for this. You can ask questions yourself of her tomorrow night on the webinar, because we're doing the D7. People cannot get enough of the D7, so that's just gone into the chat and into the comments there, Sarah. And I actually don't know if it's law, if you like, and you have to show it, but that is certainly the advice of the EI team. To have, where it used to be 12 months of income savings, she recommends that you put 2 in. Now, I'm not the expert on this. That's why we talked to Gilda. So I can't say if it's the law, if you have to do it, but she certainly recommends it as I understand it. Okay, but tune into the webinar tomorrow night to quiz her on that, and I will carry that forward on your behalf, Sarah. Here we go. Oh, yes, here we go. This is fantastic, and it's the Jazz Funk pick of the day from Capricorn 12. Read this for yourself for a moment while I mute up and just have a sip of coffee and have a little cough. Oh, there you go. The cough button saved you from something rather unholy there. Hola, bon dia, everyone. I'm feeling really positive today. 2 tracks. I Believe in Miracles. Definitely a good one from the jazz funk and sort of boogie and soul. Yeah, a soul and a rare groove, we'd call that, wouldn't we? I Believe in Miracles by the Jackson Sisters. The original, what's he called? Mark Capriani. It's so beautiful as well, let me tell you. And While My Guitar Gently Weeps song for George Harrison. Prince's performance of that is amazing. So there's some nice musical tip-offs there for you if you're that way inclined with your musical taste. Thank you very much for Capricorn 12 suggestions there. Thank you, mate. Keep those coming. Bon dia todos from Matty. We missed you yesterday, didn't we, Matty? Can't join us. I am at a customer site. Same as yesterday. I thought so. Still, got some good news. I will send my letter of resignation to my manager by email today and by post tomorrow. Wow. It's getting serious. So he's at work, is Matty. So 8 o'clock is definitely going to suit you, isn't it, Matty? I think, unless you start doing client meetings, or you do client meetings at 8 o'clock and that early in the morning. But yes, look at you putting your resignation in by email and by post, belt and braces there. Thank you for joining us despite your busy schedule this morning. Okay, loads of comments coming in. We've got to talk about Alcobaça. We've got to talk about the Expats Portugal plan. I see Portugal has even an international cricket team and they play in the Iberia Cup. Portuguese people love their sport. You'll find every sport. You'll find every sport here in Portugal. And obviously, football's the biggie. But yes, rugby, cricket, and again, people tour. Cricket, somebody did ask me to help them, I think, with their cricket or rugby tour coming over from the UK. I think I put them on to Michael Heron, who loves his sport. Of course, you'll see him occasionally in this slot. I think it's the first Wednesday of every month for Michael Heron. He's a fella who knows his sport, and he gave us a sporting coverage, of course, during the World Cup. Leckerman, hope you're good. Maybe one day we'll have Boer Wars and beer in Portugal. How about that? The South Africans meeting up here. And yeah, I want to be invited along to that, Bri. Please, I'd love to see how the South Africans would do that in Portugal. The hybrid of the South African Portuguese barbecue is going to be good, isn't it? Hello, everyone from Gemini Bradshaw. Good morning to you, Gemini. Jimmy Chu is very unsettled this morning and very noisy. Benfica game this evening. Oh, my goodness. And tomorrow, Portugal play a semi-final. Oh, it's futsal as well. It's a World Cup, is it? Again, another very popular sport here, futsal. Jacqueline Branco, thank you for your promotion of Gilda on the Silver Coast Silver Coast group. Good morning from Gayrush. How are you feeling about the political decision over there and the recent local election, Jacqueline? Has that been good for you? I wonder. Good morning to you. Yes, Capricorn 12. That performance by Prince is superb. And yes, music fans showing themselves and their tastes here this morning. Kaya Lily, most definitely, I'm moving to Portugal in December. Which area are you based in? Fantastic. Yes, please invite me to that barbecue. Bon dia, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, United States, from Marco de Silva. Yes, well, good morning, Marco. While we're there and talking about United States, viewer pick in from a viewer in North Dakota. Carlos, thank you so much for these pictures that you've sent in. We have a sunset from you, and we have, well, I know it's a sunset because these are from some lovely pictures that you sent me of a fishing trip in North Dakota. Do love your scenes and your scenery and the pictures that you send in. So from Iowa to North Dakota there, thank you, Carlos Lima. Fishing trip, so he's on the water there, and then sharing with us a beautiful sunset from the same fishing trip there. Isn't that lovely? From the boat. That's fantastic. Are there any fisher people in Portugal? I would really like to go sea fishing here on the Silver Coast. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? To catch your own dinner. For the barbecue, of course. And that would be amazing. Who's up for that? I write role-play games and war games, medieval, fantasy, sci-fi, gothic, horror, western. Looking forward to writing some more when happily retired in central Portugal. And of course, did you hear yesterday, Phil, that they are looking for extras for the Game of Thrones prequel? That might be right up your alley. Carl says, thank you for letting us know, Phil, what you do. Carl, we're on a countdown to our Christmas toy appeal. I wonder if I can minimalize the collection here a little bit. Maybe not. Carl, it's always when you surreptitiously get rid of what you think is an excess toy, like some really cheap and gnarly thing, and you think, okay, well, I'll just put that by I'll just get rid of that or recycle it or whatever, give it a wash, recycle it. The kids will never miss that. And within 48 hours, Where's my gnarly chewy toy that I was given free at in a fast food restaurant or whatever? It's always those, isn't it? But they want better quality things than that, obviously, for this appeal. Carl, we're on a countdown to our Christmas toy appeal here in Caldas Old new toys for kids in need. We need to collect 700 toys. I will do my best to help you with that. And do remind us here. With that, we'll do our best to help you, Jacqueline. Thank you for mentioning it. Look, bon dia, from Louise, who's going to be my guest tomorrow. Like I said, it's Ask Anything About Portugal. We do have a bit of a focus on helping people move to Portugal with the Expats Portugal plan. Thursday, strictly speaking, is your Move to Portugal Day, and who better than to come and talk to us about it than Louise? And she sent me a lovely picture of herself yesterday. Let me share it with you now. Thank you, Louise, for this lovely pic. You're going to be talking about moving to Portugal. Look, isn't that beautiful? Talking about moving to Portugal as a solo, as her YouTube channel suggests. Jimmy Choo, will you stop that? And this is great timing. Come on, come up here and say hello. Up. There we go. Can you see Jimmy Choo? If I just move that picture for a moment, Jimmy Choo's here. Oh, we've got to take that comment off as well. Look, who's this? Who's this? Louise, your friend Louise is here. Come into picture a bit more. Look, there you go. There you go. Isn't he beautiful? Isn't Jimmy Choo beautiful? Now stop being a pain in the bum and whinging. You've had your walk today. Now go and lie down. Okay, we need to get him a nice basket in the studio, don't I? Okay, so bon dia from Louise, and of course, yes, that lovely picture. She's going to talk about moving to Portugal solo as part of this incredible phenomenon of people who are, a lot of women moving solo to Portugal. Safe place to be, safe place to travel, safe place to live. And we've got a bit of a network developing of solos moving to Portugal. And of course, she's going to be talking about house sitting. And I think that pooch there from a house sitting gig. So that's going to be an interesting way to look at moving to Portugal on a house sit, right? We've done that as well. And I think it is, you're absolutely right, Louise. It is a great way to do that. And what a fabulous picture that is. Thank you, Louise. Thanks for saying hi this morning. Peter Bleach is here as well. Bon dia, how you doing, Carl? So professional whilst whisking your way around the country. Thank you very much, mate. I'm doing my best. I know I'm up for more of that. Absolutely. Where were we? We've been in Lisbon, Beato. We were at Martinhal, weren't we, at Cascais? I'd go back there anytime. If Martinhal, I'm happy to do an outside broadcast from any of your premises. Let that be known. And back on the Silver Coast now. Sarah Yeoman is here as well. Bon dia to you, Sarah. Possibly a Sarah there. Capricorn 12. Carl, can any of the guys throw out good car hire comparison websites? Okay, well, my favorite is Zest. And, excuse me, they draw from a number of providers. Not really a comparison website in the sense that you're talking about, I think, Capricorn. But I like the Zest and Rent Auto combo, having used them a lot and knowing that they don't give you any hassle trying to trade you up with extra premiums on insurance, or terrifying the living bejeebers out of you, telling you what could happen. And then, whilst you've come in from an international flight, frightening you and making you trade up from that deal where it was originally €1 a day to hire a car. But now you've got the insurance, it works out that it's like €200 or something like that. Zest and Rent Auto is mine. Please, other people, do put your tips for car hire comparison websites in the comments for Capricorn 12. What is the official drink of Portugal? Alcohol, actually, Linda and Lewis. We drink coffee in America, tea in England. I do like a cuppa. You can get a nice cup of tea just about. Once you get used to the probably UHT, the old ultra heat treated sterilized milk, that changes the flavor of tea for sure, doesn't it? You can buy fresh milk, of course, but it's not as easy to get hold of because in a hot country, people need an easier milk to store. But coffee, yeah. I think probably, yes, coffee is the official drink of Portugal, isn't it? And whilst I was in Lisbon, I met with the manager of a really remarkable coffee shop. And it turns out it was backed by Delta. Delta are opening up really sort of high-end coffee shops where they're celebrating the joy and love of coffee. And there's a couple in Lisbon. I think there's one in Porto now as well. And I talked to them about coming on the show and talking about coffee. That's Delta, huge producer of coffee here. Other brands are available, but Delta seemed quite interested in coming on and talking to you about what I think is the official drink in Portugal, which is coffee. And it's the little shot, of course. Others are available, like, the Mer de Leite, the Batonado, which is like the Americano, and a whole load of others. You can get a poster with 30 or 40 different coffees on it. But really, the basic unit of coffee is the shot, like an espresso, although you wouldn't call it that, you just call it cafe, and that's what you would get. What do they call it, though, up in the north? Somebody will remind me in the comments. But yeah, coffee rather than tea, certainly, but probably alcohol. Capricorn 12, Carl told me zest. Yeah, as I would anybody there. Thank you for that reminder. Wish I was as fun as you think my name is, working the night shift right now in the US. Oh, so not 3 for the road for you tonight then, 3 for the road. But I'm sure you must have your fun times as well with a name like that. Still in Cape Town, Kilele and Francis talking. Maybe still be a while for us, but you never know. Aiming for Porto and the surrounds. Pete, morning to Louise, Expat Portugal, 50 plus Expats Portugal. Love your acorn picker idea. Hope you're having a great week. Oh, what is that an idea for a Tuesday? Is Louise going to be putting the patent on that? An acorn picker. Remember where you heard it first. Hello from India, from Vishwanath NB. Why is Portugal recognizing AstraZeneca COVID shield? I don't know the answer to that. Somebody else might. Would love to visit Portugal for Christmas, and you would be here at a lovely time. Portuguese take Christmas very seriously, and not in a bad way. Just people really get into it here, the Christmas, and it's a lovely time of year, and it tends to start as it should, I would say, at the beginning of December, and when the towns get decorated, the Principios, the nativity scenes are out, and the music is in the streets. People do make an effort here, and it's fantastic. So do your best to get here. I don't know what's behind your question. I thought the AstraZeneca vaccine was approved in Portugal, but others may be more of an authority on that. It's the water in the supply pipes. Is it what, seawater, Paul? There is definitely a different aroma, right, when you're by the sea. Am I right? Greetings from Punjab, from Manwarjit Singh. When is the webinar for the D2? All right, I'll ask her tomorrow night, Manwarjit, when we're going to do a D2 seminar. Not as popular, as you know, and that's probably why you're asking the question, right? Touching into this GMP community inspires me through the visas and house selling process. Thank you. Jim, you are an inspiration yourself with your regular attendance with all that we do, it seems. So thank you so much, Jim. And I'm glad to hear that you find us a touchstone for your process, and we're happy to be a part of your process here. We're delighted. I will upgrade my happy to delighted to be a part of helping you come here. Love the smell of the sea and sand. Lovely, that fresh smell, no unpolluted air. So that's part of it as well, isn't it, Gemini? I think. Joan F. About Thunderducks, ask anything. What's the medium flight speed of a swallow without extra weight? Oh, that's easy. That's roughly speaking 45. Oh, you should have asked it in English. I could have answered it straight away there, Thunder. And Mummy's Boo. Bon dia, Carl. My daughter will be 5 in December, currently in year 1 and doing great. Will she be set back a year if I choose the Portuguese private school option? Obrigado. I think that would be at the discretion of you and the team, the staff team at the school. I don't think necessarily that's the case, but that's a conversation to have with the school, isn't it, about what will happen there? And I suspect it would vary based on their assessment of your daughter's achievements, how that would work. But I don't think it's necessarily so. There is my first guess on that, and it is a guess, I have to say, Mommy's Boo, but others may be able to help you. But I would strike up a conversation with the school in question and to get a definitive answer to that, because they're going to have the last say on that, aren't they? And thank you for joining us, Mommy's Boo. Hola, yo! Is there a train that goes to the Algarve from Lisbon? There certainly is. And it's that wonderful... not the pendicular. What's it called? The alpha, not the alpha funicular. What's it called? Alpha pendular. I think it is a fantastic journey. And how's about Lisbon to Barcelona? That is also possible. Traveling across Europe by train is something I want to do more. Perhaps in the autumn of my years. I like to think I'm still on the cusp of summer and autumn. But isn't that a lovely thing to look forward to? Traveling around Europe by train. which is very possible. And you may be put off traveling by train if you come from the United States or the UK. It's different here in Europe. And yes, you can catch a fantastic train at a very decent cost and in great comfort and style from Lisbon to the Algarve, and you can go all across Europe, and you can buy special tickets to do so. Thanks for that question, Rebel Mama. A couple of friends can now attend free Portuguese classes for immigrants now opened up again in their villages. So is that a question? Anyone know who runs them? Okay, so you've heard that is occurring. But how do you find them in your area? No results when searching. Okay, Portuguese folk, we need your help on that. I hope it happens sooner for you guys. I'm also going to be in Porto. How about that? South African gathering and yes, a barbecue, a braai. Bring and braai sale. I see that comment. I can't wait to get to it. Peter Bleach, liberating stuff. Matty, think you will like the shots of Molly in Nepal. I had such a lovely day with Luke and Sarah yesterday. See you. That's a see you soon rather than see you, son. In a sort of fatherly way there, I think. And from Mark Rigby this morning, English sayings are sometimes counterintuitive. I wouldn't sniff at that. Yes. Yes, we do have some strange idioms, don't we, and linguistic idiosyncrasies, but so do the Portuguese. We haven't done those for a while. They're hilarious as well. Oh no, has that been put up on YouTube? I wonder. Is it the Acorn idea? The Acorn picker is perhaps up on YouTube already. Give us a link, Pete. Awesome. Then that'll be easy to make a plan. Look me up on FB. So the South Africans are gathering in Porto by the sound of it, and we can stay in touch and continue to chat there. Barbara's here as well. Good morning, todos. Bon dia, todos. Yes, I do like to forage. It says Debbie Forager. You can't beat a nettle pizza. Oh, wow. That was part of the wonder of going to Alcobaça yesterday, the pizza shop. They're the pizza restaurant. I'm going to tell you more about that. Actually, I do need to get the picture of the I'm not muted anymore. Thank you, those for WhatsApp connected friends who are telling me, giving a bit of audio backup there and letting me know I was muted earlier on. But that I want to show you, actually. I must get that from Facebook, from Messenger, and show you my pizza, or the pizza restaurant I went to. And probably one of the best, you might not expect this, but probably one of the best panna cottas I've ever had, right here in Alcobaça in Portugal. You might expect that in Italy, but this was such an authentic, would seem to me to be a brilliantly authentic Italian pizza restaurant in Alcobaça yesterday. So I think that I sent that picture to Mrs. M. I got myself, I thought, I know, I'm out with the kids, and you know, they're a rambunctious bunch, 3 of them under 10, taking them out for lunch on my own. What was I thinking? And I have to tell you, they were great. And I thought I'll treat myself to a beaker. That's what it's called, isn't it? A coffee shot up in the north. Oh, I'm digressing now. Going into all sorts of tangents. Let me finish this comment first. You can't beat a nettle pizza. I don't think that was on the menu yesterday. Ortigão is nettle, isn't it, in Portuguese? And a blackberry ketchup. That does sound great. Looking forward to picking those sweet chestnuts back in Portugal Saturday, this time based in the north. Okay, do you come specially to do foraging trips then? We've got to talk to you on the show here, Debbie Forager. Let's get you on. Yes, going to be great for us in Óbidos and Caldas. That's the political decision that was made recently, the choice that was made by the people. That's great to hear. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa too, says 3 for the road. Fantastic. Morn Cad. I wonder what that means. Is Don Murphy calling me a cad? Morn cad. Sir, you are a cad and a bounder. Nothing more. When walking the dog on the Atlantic coast, I'd watch the fishermen. When you were doing that, okay, I would love to learn to fish. Let's do it, Louise. Let's get a seasoned, salty old sea dog and to teach us how to fish. And we'll go out there in the morning before the show and catch our lunch. I love to fish, Carl, but in the Netherlands, fishing sucks. Is that because it's all sort of dikes and canals, maybe, and not much fast-moving water where you are? In Florida, I lived on the coast. I fished every day. That sounds amazing, Andrea Hogan. Rod Scott is also here. Bon dia, EI consultation booked, flights booked, check. Accommodation booked, check. Harkire, check. Car hire car, car rental, however you say it, coming for a nose around end of January, staying in, I've got to be careful how I say this, Folkish. I don't know where that is. Where is that, Rod Scott? Which part of Portugal are you coming to? But congratulations on all that progress there, my friend. Tom is here as well. Bon dia. Hello, everybody. I'm a bit late today, but I'm glad I could still join in, as am I, Tom. You're always welcome. You know that. You're more than welcome, Carl, and anyone. That's what makes a braai a braai. Bring your meat and sides for everyone. Bring and braai. Love that. And don't forget the cervezas, of course. Jimmy! Louise, happy to see Jimmy Choo on the screen. Hope he's not as expensive as the original Jimmy Choo. Well, sometimes he flipping well is with all the chewing that he does and having to replace things. But that's puppies for you, right? Hola, bon dia, alegria, Carl. Todos from Jersey P. Out Jersey P. Enjoying a nice coldie there, I think, in your picture. Joao F. Solo 50-plus expat Portugal. What a beautiful picture that is. Beautiful dogs kiss. Dogs surely know who loves them, says Joao F. My goodness, 9:45 already, as this is Ask Anything. Okay, what you got for us, Don? That wasn't a question you asked before, though, was it? Morn Cad. I'm struggling to decode that, my friend. Bon dia from Pippa Young, trying to catch up. Better late than never. I hope that wherever you join in, there's still you get to enjoy one of my small nuggets, as somebody put it earlier on. That was you, Mark, wasn't it? Not this Mark. Mark from Norfolk. This is Mark Rigby from Povoa de Vargem. Pica is what you order in the north of Portugal for a coffee. And coffee further down the south and in central. Here in Poland, we love coffee also. I mean, humans love the coffee, don't they? Bika, there you go. Pippa Young, Francis, have you heard of bomb? Bring your own meat and booze braai. That's great. It's the bomb. I did hear that Portugal does have great coffee. It really does, Linda and Lish. You will not be disappointed. The thing about the coffee here, somebody once said to me, it's not the best coffee in the world, but it's the most consistently good. And isn't that good? Isn't that a great thing to be able to say about a country? You're not going to suffer the ups and downs and inconsistencies of poor coffee here and a good coffee there and having to search out an excellent one. The general standard is absolutely fantastic. I think it's right what that person said. Does Portugal have Christmas markets? Yes, it does. Yes, nice smell, sea smell. Okay, so I'm not on my own. And it's a beaker, says Colin. Hello, Colin. Tell us more. Did you have a good trip? Lima Grady's here. Good morning, people. Just checking in. Hello, mate. Glad you do. I have to say that Christmas street decorations in Portugal are amazing. So there you go. I'm always up for a fishing trip. Book me in. Lee's up for that as well. It's going to be like the scene in Jaws. We're going to need a bigger boat, everybody. Algarve to Lisbon train is pretty good. The Alpha Pendula. Hello, Max. How are you? Joe, is there a major app used for used cars for sale? Paul, well, look at Jerry's presentation on that on the forum. He does go into the best places to buy a used car. You'll find that on our forum, expatsportugal.com/community. On entering Portugal, what are the correct documents to get through the airport? Oh, who's done that? That's the way to answer this question. Who's done that in the last few days and is up to speed? Okay, for Paul Richards. Morning, Carl. He's not calling me a cad. In Portugal, do you have to pay a TV license? I certainly hope not, Don, because I haven't been. It's not a thing here. They do not have that awful thing that we have had in the UK, where you are basically imprisoned if you don't pay the enforced TV license fee. That anachronism, that dinosaur of a media thing must go at some point, mustn't it? Yes, and I know the BBC do make some good programs, but they're also a pretty dysfunctional and sick organisation and charge you handsomely for the privilege and then put you in prison if you don't pay or threaten to. Well, that's something people have got used to, which can't be right, can it? But in Portugal, sorry, I'll stop ranting now about that. In Portugal, no, I don't think you do need a TV license. And if you do, I'm in a lot of trouble. Is Portugal opening up to go on holiday? Certainly, Marco da Silva. People are enjoying themselves here as I write, as we speak, as we are together this morning. I'd suggest take the sleeper train from Lisbon to Madrid. It's fun, first class, nice old-fashioned dinner in the dining car. Oh, yes. Is it like Murder on the Orient Express, Max? Sleep, wake up in Madrid, fly back, though. Okay, well, that sounds like a great trip, doesn't it? And who wouldn't want to enjoy that while you still can? An old-fashioned dinner in the dining car with silver service. You know those lovely old pieces of silver cutlery that you can see have been loved and used for decades, with the little scratches on them. I'd love to do that. And I can remember when you were still able to do that in the UK and not get just a pre-packed sandwich and an awful cuppa. Getting ready to go to work as I have to go. Please reply. Marco de Silva, what? Yes, it is open up. And have a nice day at work. Joao F, whenever I try to get a selfie with them, that's the time they decide to smother me. Yes, Dogs know these things, don't they? They're so intuitive. To find some locations of free Portuguese lessons for immigrants. There you go. There's the link. Thank you, Mark. That's fantastic for Louise this morning. Going great with Ask Anything About Portugal. Is Catemba Spanish? Vinho Verde. I don't know about that. But yes, Vinho Verde, Port, Cafe, Cerveja, all official drinks here in Portugal. We'll come back to some of these comments in just a moment. I've got to show you Alcobaça and tell you about it and do the Expats Portugal plan, folks. We took the train from the Netherlands to Italy. They have a Euro ticket. What? Allows you to buy however many days you need of unlimited travel per day. It's worth it. So fun to travel by train in Europe. Thank you for reiterating that sentiment there. Pippa Young, I hadn't, but always a great idea. Oh, that's the bomb approach. One more from Michelle for now then. I love the afternoon by the beach. It always feels special to not be a day tripper and have to go home. I love the good yes, of walking in the tiny waves on the shoreline, not sure about the tap water. It's always going to be a little bit controversial, I think, tap water, isn't it? With all that it's been through, whether you live by the River Thames or whether you live near a desalination plant. Okay, Alcobaça then, before I tell you about the Expats Portugal Planet and deal with some of the controversy that has arisen around that. Here I am yesterday in Alcobaça, kids making their way up to the monastery there, beautiful Portuguese blue sky. There's the outside of the monastery. Inside are the tombs of, I think it's the tombs, but certainly great references made to Pedro and Ines. Do you know that story? She was assassinated by Pedro's father. They loved each other dearly, and I think it was a kind of forbidden love. It wasn't allowed. So she was assassinated by Pedro's father, the king at the time, Afonso. And he didn't forgive him, and as you wouldn't, right? So when he became king, he exhumed her and set her up in court, her dead body, and ordered the courtiers to kiss her hand, I think, and show their due respect. This is an enduring and fascinating love story. Part of the, would you call it romance? Is that taking things a stage too far? But certainly an incredible show of love and affection and attachment. And that's part of going into the Alcobaça Monastery. The journey there from this part of the Silver Coast was incredible. Now, why it is that the Atlantic Road in Portugal, in places like between Foz and Caldas, between San Martinho and Nazaré, is not better known or celebrated, I don't know. Maybe it's best to keep it that way. But it is world class, looking out across the water. And this eccentric viewing point that I found for you and did a live video from on the Expats Portugal Facebook page yesterday is just something else. So the journey over there was amazing. Going through little villages, I decided to go off-piste a little bit. I like to have a little bit of an explore. Plantations, picnic areas are plenty, little cafes. Absolutely wonderful. Padaria 33, I think it's called, with the view over the Atlantic. You could see what was called the Silver Coast yesterday. You could see Nazaré in the distance to my right, back towards Foz to the left. And that was fantastic, that journey. So then into Alcobaça, and we were able to spend the whole day in Alcobaça. I'll tell you what's occurred to me about Alcobaça, not just the monastery. Look how these children are dwarfed inside the monastery there. And they loved it. You know, they're only little, and they really loved the atmosphere. We lit candles and had a wander about. I had a temperature check, the first one I've had during the pandemic, actually, I think due to our own levels of isolation and how we've managed it. But to go into the monastery, you do get your temperature taken, which I thought was slightly ironic. Okay, we're in a religious, spiritual environment. Jesus wouldn't have stopped somebody who had a temperature coming into his temple, right? But there you go. We live in a different age now, and they do that for public health reasons, I'm sure, at Alcobaça. But I had a quick zap of the old thermometer and was waved through, and we had a fantastic time in there. We went to a pizza restaurant not far from the monastery, had a beautiful, authentic Italian pizza. And I know I'm not singing the praises of Portuguese food, but what I am saying with this is that in Portugal, you can get fantastic, and you know me, I do love Portuguese food, and I sing its praises as often as I can. But what an amazing delight to find a Portuguese proprietor of a restaurant celebrating Italian food and doing it beautifully and authentically. So I had a great pizza. Shared that with the kids. Had a beautiful tomato and basil salad. I'm making my mouth water. Probably yours too. Okay. Tomato and basil salad. It was infused with, I think, some raw and fresh garlic. And a tabua is what you would call it in Portuguese. In Italian, I can't remember what it was called, but it had pate. It had grey butter. I thought it was pate, and I gave some to my daughter, and she said, that's nice butter. So that was the butter. It was grey, which is perhaps what happens in Italy. A grey butter, beautiful pate, some lovely little, dry breads to put that on, some fantastic olives, must have been local Portuguese olives, and some cold meats, which were fantastic, with an Italian twist. Literally, they were twisted up and beautifully presented. So that was a fantastic lunch that we had. And as I said before, I ordered my cafe. Kids had been great. They were drinking Alcobaça apple juice. So this area, the Silver Coast and the valleys around Caldas de Rainha, all about the massa from Alcobaça, the apples, and the apple juice and pear juice as well. And they were celebrating, this incredible produce inside the Italian restaurant. Apple juice mixed with lemon, mixed with pear, mixed with orange, mixed with pineapple. Delicious. And the kids love that. So they had their fill. They had their nice full bellies at lunchtime or just after. It was actually mid-afternoon by that time. And I thought, okay, well, we'll finish off here. I'll see if I can keep the kids amused for a little while. We'll have a shot of coffee, which was excellent. Possibly Italian Portuguese hybrid blend. It was really very good. And the panna cotta, folks, the panna cotta that I had, this is worth me sending from my phone to my WhatsApp, so that you can see this. So I ordered a panna cotta, and I said to the young lady, which is what I say now at my age, the waitress, can you give me 4 spoons with that? I was speaking mostly Portuguese. I couldn't remember what spoon was in Portuguese. That particular bit let me down. It arrived, and it wasn't a big panna cotta. It was delicate and delicious, and it had. I've got to find this for you. So let me bear with for a moment. Keep those comments coming there keep the questions coming in the comments. I've got to find you this panna cotta because it was legendary, and I want you to go to this restaurant. And I should actually give you the name of the restaurant, shouldn't I? Do you know what? I'm going to have to do this tomorrow. I'm going to share. It's going to take too long, and it's going to be too boring seeing a man uploading photos from his phone to his live stream. But believe me, this panna cotta, it had a raspberry kind of coulis around it. Is that what is it? Are they still called that? Is that an old-fashioned 80s term now? Beautiful earthenware as well. What I should do is find out the name of this restaurant because you're going to be going mad if I don't give you the name of the restaurant. It was called Fiore di Zucca. The pizzeria, Fiore di Zucca. Okay, and I will put that in the comments because anyone going to Alcobaça, I think should check it out. I mean, there are lots of other places to eat there. Fiore di Z. So that is Italian, isn't it? Fiore di Zucca. That's in the comments now. Lots of great places to eat in Alcobaça, but this caught our eye and it was very sort of kid friendly. And I think we did have a great time in there. Where was I? Yes, so panna cotta. It had fresh raspberries and mint on top, and it had a beautiful, sort of raspberry mash around it. And it was only about that big, and 4 great big spoons, not dessert spoons. The spoon you have to eat your dessert with, not a dessert spoon. You know what I mean? Not teaspoons. And the kids looked at it and thought, that looks nice. And before I knew it, I had this tiny little bit to myself. They were in there. There was the battle of the spoons. So thoroughly recommend the panna cotta, folks, at Fiore di Zucca in Alcobaça. And Alcobaça, what occurred to me was that it was like the Bournemouth. If you're a UK person, it's the Bournemouth of the Silver Coast. We went from the restaurant around the monastery. Then we went from the monastery to get ice creams. Then we went from ice creams to the children's playground, which is amazing. It's in sculpt. It's like a winter garden that you might be familiar with in the UK. That's why it reminded me of Bournemouth. And the standard of play equipment was great. And we just whiled away hours in a leisurely way, hanging out with Portuguese kids. Portuguese avós were there with their grandchildren. And it was just the most lovely, hospitable, warm, welcoming environment. And it was a beautiful autumnal day yesterday as well. So I can't commend Alcobaça enough to you. Do go there. And so let's bring on, I want to deal with the controversy as we finish here of the Premium Plus plan that has come in. And also settle the argument. Somebody wrote to us in capital letters. Some grumpy bunny had a bad day and decided to challenge how we'd spelled enroll. Well, I'll come back to that. How do you spell enroll? So let's have a look at this. Today and tomorrow leads us up to the deadline where you can save €100. Okay, the Premium Plus, the Expats Portugal plan is €697. It's full value. And look, you get all of this as part of it, all right? And our new admissions, the new course will begin on the 1st of October. Cut through the clutter and realize your dream of living in Portugal sooner. Enroll in the Expats Portugal plan, and we will guide you through understanding your visa options. Now, this is important because some people have flamed us up, got quite cross about this. What are you doing replacing EI with your own thing? We're not replacing. We are increasing our working relationship, deepening our working relationship, understanding your visa options with EI. This includes the consultation and step plan with EI, with Gilda and or her team, okay? So you'll understand your visa options and you will have an hour's consultation meeting, probably a bit more, knowing them, and you will find out exactly what your options are, find out if you qualify as a first step, and find out what you need to know and to do, okay? So we're not spinning away from EI. If anything, we're deepening our relationship with them. So please calm down those people who thought we were turning our back on EI. Far from it. We are embracing working together with EI, and part of your 697 or 597 if you book it before midnight tomorrow will be a consultation with EI, which will give you your step plan. So you'll learn all about NIFs, banking and currency. And I know people here will be saying, yes, I know that, but we bring it all together in one package, right? So NIFs, banking and currency, where to live in Portugal, accommodation, buying or renting real estate, family, lifestyle and schools, insurance and healthcare, setting up home and utilities, wealth management and taxation, shipping your personal belongings and pets, language and culture, transport, travel and motoring, and heaps more, okay? So those are your headline bullet points on the Premium Plus Expats Portugal plan, moving to Portugal. And as well as all of that, what I'd like to share with you is that you get full access to a private forum where you can answer, you'll get your questions answered. You'll receive all the premium member perks, discounts and benefits. So as well, actually, while I'm about it, while we're giving a €100 discount as an early bird discount, if you're already a premium member, we will also take the €47. Is it sounding like a market now? Come on, girls, get your Expats Portugal plan right here. €47 off, only today. But yes, if you've paid your €47 as a premium member, we will discount that as well from there. So a total benefit of 147 if you book before tomorrow night. Guaranteed access to all our interactive webinars, so like the one tomorrow night. And we also, for the Expats plan, a Portugal plan people, we are doing an evening with. It's like an evening with Diana Ross, an evening with Gilda Pereira tomorrow night after the webinar in a more intimate and exclusive environment. So you can really get close and ask the questions that you want to ask. And you'll be able to buy and sell the stuff you don't want to bring, or sell the stuff you don't want to bring in our classifieds forum. So you will receive your personalized, clear and simple step plan for immigrating to Portugal. You will get an intensive introduction and support initiating your move to Portugal with the power of all of the Expats Portugal team and community. You get the big picture overview with our proven timeline and micromanage the details with our tested checklist. Go at your own pace, whether ready to move to Portugal or planning a post-retirement migration. Work with Portugal's, this is what we're called, right? Biggest, friendliest, and most helpful. That's what you say, expat company and community. And you will get, as part of this, 6 hours of one-to-one coaching and support, okay? Or it could be 12 half-hour sessions to help you move along with this, with a knowledgeable resident, expat, or local. Meet and share your journey with other migrants in similar circumstances. People have found this useful, being with fellow travelers on the process, bit of business networking, bit of personal networking. Work with someone who is an expat or local with personal experience and on-the-ground insight. That can be very helpful if you're doing this from afar. Get priority access to our address book and contacts. Yes, my little black book. Weekly online Q&A troubleshooting sessions. Meet like-minded people in our exclusive private forum and community. We are with you every step of the way with ongoing support via email and text, and post-plan support until you move and once you have arrived. And we'll also give 5% of this to Portugal's Bombeiros, the fire service here, which is an incredible thing. Okay, so that's the Expats Portugal plan. We are not replacing EI. We are working with them more closely. And, you know, It is possible to do all of this alone, isn't it? By gleaning various sources of information, including our very own forum, and put it all together yourself. But if you want the fast track, if you want it all in one place, I suggest you come and join us on the Expats Portugal plan. It doesn't cover all the fees and the professional consultant fees either. It is the spine, if you like, of the skeleton of the whole journey. Okay, which is further fleshed out, and there are additional costs for working with the professionals, because we work with, we don't pretend to be the experts or professionals in this. We point you towards the ones to work with. So there are extra costs for that, for those people who thought you could do everything for €697. No, we are giving you reassurance, hand holding, bit of butt kicking from time to time, and bringing it all together in one place, which people in our previous course have said has been a godsend. Okay, so let's come back to your comments to finish off today. It is 7 minutes past 10. Any questions coming up about that? And let's see. In the north, an espresso is called un café. If you ask for a beaker, oh, here in the north, they look at you funny sometimes and say cafe. Okay, if you want an espresso with a bit of milk in it, still an espresso cup. It's a pingo. But then there is a pingo direita, which is a mystery of Portugal. Okay, thank you for that, Rebel Mama. I would love to go out and learn to forage. So Debbie Forager, we want to talk to you. Can you imagine that? Catch a mackerel from the sea and forage some samphire from the beach and a bit of salad to go with it. My goodness, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it, Louise? You need a license for seashore fishing in Portugal, and I believe you can get it from the multi-banco machine. Isn't that incredible? I think you can. Let's whiz through your comments and questions. Still waiting for my little blue document to bring forth much excitement. Should be in Portugal now in November. Okay, Dougie, and we'll get you back on, mate. Is that your Austin there? Or your Morris with its hood open in your profile pic there. Look forward to seeing you soon, having you back on the show as well. Yes, but watch out for the hooks lying beside the fisherman. Your dog may find the bait on the hook tempting. Keep your eyes peeled when walking your dog, of course. And one of my dogs I had previously in the UK ate the lunch of a fisherman once, and he was very good about it. Just ran up and ate his sandwiches and ran off again. Maxine in Porto, you don't ask for a beaker, you ask for a cimbalino. It's getting complicated. Cimbalino, beaker, cafe. If you ask a cafe, I don't think you can go wrong. Good morning, Portugal. The Beatles' last live concert was on a rooftop in London. I'd love to see a live concert from a rooftop bar in Lisbon, and you will. There are so many cool rooftop bars in Lisbon, aren't there? What group would you love to gaze at from the streets of Lisbon? Got to be Earth, Wind and Fire, or Nile Rodgers, the aforementioned Nile Rodgers. It's going to be difficult, isn't it, to have a lineup of Earth, Wind and Fire anymore? But in fantasy terms, yes, pardon the pun, wouldn't it be great to see Earth, Wind and Fire up on the roof of a Lisbon building? But I think Nile Rodgers would be pretty awesome. Christmas market in Obidos, says Doug. Going back to our Christmas markets, any good in Portugal? Portugal TV license is part of the electricity bill. Odd but true. So there you go. So in a way, it's optional. But you have to, but only if you want to do without electricity can you evade it. Roger Waters, up on the roof. A TV license is charged monthly on your electricity bill. I didn't know that. So I'm glad somebody asked that this morning. There's an answer for me. Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate that. There is a TV license charge, Carl, but I think it's added to one of the bills automatically, maybe the Lecky bill or council tax. So there you go. Fantastic. I haven't done anything wrong. I just didn't know. Tristan does local foraging walks here. Louise, I thought that was a place in Portugal. Luís. I just love learning from Joseph. He just sees things foraging I would never know. And the foragers are like that, aren't they? They just suddenly run off and pick something that you'd have walked past. Paulo Borata is here. In Portugal, you do pay a small fee for all broadcasting services. It's included in the electricity bill. Amazing. Okay. Jeff Jackson, are there regions in Portugal that have more modern housing options than other areas? Love old buildings, but not sure about living in one. Yes, Jeff. Well said. Yes. All of the big cities, all of the big conurbations have a mixture of old and new, and there's lots of building work going on. So I don't think you'll be disappointed with that. Finding yourself in an attractive area, but living in a modern building. Verdeja wine from Spain, delicious. Not sure if it's related to Vinho Verde. We just do not talk about wines from other countries here. Thank you, Mark, from Louise there about the language stuff. Yup, TV license is a thing in South Africa. Can't buy a TV without one. Haven't watched their channels in years. Still pay all the other subs. It's an old-fashioned thing, isn't it? And now there's talk of adding to utilities because people aren't paying. So you're going to copy the Portuguese model by the sound of it. Abel Pinheiro, good morning, everyone. Looking forward to invade the streets of Viseu next summer with my Scottish gang. That sounds like a Netflix series, doesn't it? When a Scottish gang, a little bit of Peaky Blinders there. What's the Scottish equivalent of Peaky Blinders, I wonder? It could be called See You Pal or something like that, couldn't it? So the Scottish gang are coming to Viseu. Yeah. Lock up your daughters. Lock everything up. Dominique Cour, Padelaria is 33 is great. The couple who run it are lovely people. So there you go. Padelaria, Pasteleria 33 on the Atlantic Road there. Top tip. I had a temperature check yesterday to enter an outdoor rooftop bar. Interesting. Did they check it on the way out again as well? Grey butter sounds like truffle butter. Delicious. Thank you, Nubianette, for being a better gourmet than me. That's, of course, what it was. Truffle butter. Truffle butter's a lovely little phrase, isn't it? That'd be a nice name to have on the forum. Truffle butter, 1, 2, 3. Spoon is a collier. Thank you very much. The restaurant was Fiora de Zucca. Jerry, please go there. We must meet there. Bon dia todos from Yvonne. This panna cotta did make my mouth water. Mia de agua na boca from Yvonne. And Ruth, good morning, Yvonne. Ruth, good morning to you, Ruth, as well. Bon dia todos. NIF question. Does the representative required to apply need to be a financial professional, or can they be a family member? That's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. We've gone in, the people in our family who've got them, have gone in themselves, and we've got them for the kids, of course. So yes, from that point of view, because the kids can't get them themselves, I think you probably do need to have either an official representative or a power of attorney to do that for you, Ruth, would be my guess at that. Join us. We can answer that very simply tomorrow night on the webinar with Gilda. So do join us for that. What day do I watch to find out information about moving money that is in retirement accounts in the USA to a similar account in Portugal? Does Portugal have similar accounts? Linda and Lewis, talk to Spartan FX about that. Go to our business directory. Jerry might put that in the comments for us this morning, if I can make him work on my behalf as a production assistant this morning. Sarah Davey joins me once a month to talk about it, but you don't have to wait. You can open up an account with them to get your money transferred over, and people speak very highly, as Paul Richards might do if he gets the chance in the comments. He's a very happy customer. Sorry, Carl, keep retracting my comments. Spell check keeps going. Okay, how's your garlic growing going on? Very badly, Don. It started well, but then I moved, which didn't help. And you remember what Lee said? Put it in the fridge first, then put it in a jar, let it shoot, and then stick it in the garden. Mine is not growing well, but I will try again. Wild garlic may be in Portugal. Hoping to be living in Portugal next year. You're on. Okay, Debbie, you're on as well. That's fantastic. A great value in the Expats Portugal plan. Glad you've packaged it together as you have. Thank you, Jeff, for that feedback. Appreciate that. Douglas, be pleased to come back on Good Morning Portugal. Not Good Morning Britain, but perhaps you should do both. Maybe we should get old, what's his name on here? Who's the big fella who left Good Morning Britain? Maybe he could join me on Good Morning Portugal. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Not controversial at all. What about the Portuguese cork external paneling to insulate old homes? Does anyone know of this? Yes, a great Portuguese material, of course, the cork. And yes, I have seen it. It was a new build in Lisbon, and they were using cork, I think, for sound. For sound and thermal insulation, Michelle. So it is definitely a thing. A concert up on the roof, definitely Dire Straits. That ain't working. Thank you for that, Joao. So are you not doing 8 a.m.? I certainly am, but we have not launched the autumn schedule yet. We're a bit behind schedule for the autumn schedule, strictly speaking. But in the next couple of weeks, yes, autumn schedule and the 8 o'clock start is coming. Not Piers Morgan. No, right? I was only joking. Mark does not want to see Piers Morgan on the Good Morning Portugal screen. And Joao, cork could be good insulation, although I think it could also be a bit expensive. Nevertheless, I shall research that for you. Good man. Yes, I mean, there are suppliers. And there's that legendary cork tree, isn't there? I did a short about it. I did 1,000, you know that. Actually, I need your help with this whilst I remember. 1,000 things to enjoy in Portugal. Did I get to even number 20? I need your help with this. I need you to send me photographs or little video clips. And let's make it a collaborative team effort. Let's make it hive mind stuff. So why not do your own voiced over video of something you love that you think people should enjoy in Portugal? Send it to me. I'll top and tail it, and we'll stick it up on the YouTube channel. Why not? We can all be YouTube stars like that. So let's do that. Please contribute those towards me. You know where I am, Carl at expatsportugal.com, or leave us a message on the YouTube channel itself. You've been amazing this morning. Just finishing with one bit of feedback about the Expats Portugal plan. Sally, very, innocently sent out a message to tell everyone about it, and we spelled enroll ENROL, which is of course the right way, before it was ruined by our American cousins. Somebody wrote in about that. That's not the right way, in capital letters. This grumpy bunny had obviously had a bad day and decided to let off a bit of steam at us, at Sally. I mean, come on. And actually, you're wrong, my friend. The real spelling, I'm going to leave this controversy hanging here as I leave this morning. Enroll is one L, isn't it? The verb meaning to sign up or to register is spelled enroll in the US, which is wrong. Let's face it, two L's. Enroll with one L is the preferred spelling outside North America. The more American spelling is now preferred in Canadian news publications, but enroll was traditionally more common and still appears in many contexts. But they were mad about that. A whole paragraph in capital letters about that. And when someone's really peevish, they go off on a real biggie, don't they? It's like, if you don't have that attention to detail, I'm not giving you my money to help me come to Portugal. Calm down, dear. It is the correct spelling. I think you're fine. It's like having Carl spelled with two L's. It's just wrong. Okay. Great to have your company this morning. Thank you for letting me share Alcobaça with you. Thank you for letting me share the Expats Portugal plan with you. Don't forget, you've got today and tomorrow until you lose the early bird discount. Full price is $697. With the discount, if you book it before midnight tomorrow night, it will be $597. And we can knock off a further $47. So $550 if you are already a premium member. I can send you a code for doing that, which Astrid has created. Have a great day, folks. We'll be here tomorrow with Louise, talking about moving to Portugal solo and as a house sitter. I look forward to your company then. See you then. Ciao for now. Adios. Até logo. Até próxima. And all the Portuguese sign-offs I can find until I find my video, which is right here. Ciao, ciao. Ciao for now.